My friends, I propose we get started. First of all, I would like to thank you for taking the time to come.
The honor is ours, my lord.
As per our custom, here we are all together to discuss the face of tomorrow's world. Even though there may be certain tensions between our nations, I must ask you to keep an open mind. As Sarah de Richet is unable to be among us, please welcome Louis de Richet, who will represent the Golden Order and will vote on its behalf when the time comes.
Welcome among us, Louis.
Welcome, Monsieur.
I hope he'll be more effective than his mother regarding the protection of the King of France. The Order has proved particularly inefficient.
Come, Manuel, you're not going to spoil our visit. The Order's mission was not to protect King Louis XVI, as far as I am aware.
We are talking about a king of divine blood, for goodness sake. It seemed obvious to me he needed protecting. If the Golden Order wants to pride itself on being an influential organization, it should have kept him alive.
Thank you all. I am honored to be among you today. I will strive to represent the interests of the Order as best I can.
Perhaps we may begin, Lord Mortimer.
Certainly. I have a dream that our nations will continue to support each other, more now than ever before. A dream that, for the sake of common good, we will do what it takes to ensure stability in the modern world. I have a dream that we shall lead by example and ensure that the American territory may remain in peace.
Thank you for the thought, Lord Mortimer, but I don't see where you're leading.
I'm coming to it, Mr. President. I need not remind you that North America is currently divided between the United States on the east coast and Spain, which occupies the remaining two-thirds of the continent. Well, I propose that Spain cede the center of the continent to France, namely all of Louisiana.
Louisiana? But, well, it is not for sale. Lord Mortimer, I sincerely hope I have not come all this way just to hear you ramble on about what Spain should and should not do. When we went to all the trouble of gaining the territory a few years ago, it was not just to lose it today. Have I made myself clear?
What did I tell you, William? You speak of union, and yet here you are, about to tear us apart.
Duke Manuel, I perfectly understand you. But rest assured, you will soon adore my proposition. You shall see.
Well, since you give me the choice, my good fellow, allow me to doubt it. However, I am impatient to hear what Spain could possibly gain from the sale of Louisiana.
I never spoke of a sale, my good fellow.
What? But I do not understand.
There is one more territory left to conquer, if I'm not mistaken, in the northwest. It is, of course, occupied by your notorious Indians, but...
We shall soon be rid of the savages, so that is not the question.
Duke, these savages, as you call them, were there before you. They are on their homeland.
As much as the black people of Africa, Monsieur de Richet. That does not stop your dear France from massacring them and sending them like cattle to Mr. Washington's cotton plantations to provide him with cheap labor. So you keep your morals to yourself, if you please.
Senor, I would not like to be associated with that. The subject of black slaves in the United States of America is a complex subject, which we shall resolve at a future date.
Oh Gott, das wird relativ schwer. Ihn provozieren. Die Sklaverei in den Vereinigten Staaten ist ein komplexes Thema, das wir zu einem späteren Zeitpunkt angehen werden. Naja, hat ja bis heute nicht so wirklich gut funktioniert. Ihn provozieren. Aber wen jetzt hier Godoy? Frankreich betreibt, das weiß ich nicht. Aber er wird irgendwas anderes finden. Lass uns mal das große Ganze mal im Auge behalten. Ich soll ja eigentlich die Pläne von Dings unterbinden, ne?
France is not without fault, but that doesn't take away Spain's responsibilities. You see, Native Americans are being subjected to a veritable ethnic cleansing. Europeans are colonizing their land so that it then belongs to them. The widespread evangelization of its inhabitants will soon eradicate a multitude of cultures. You've done the same thing in South America. How far will white people go? Reservations to pin them in like cattle? Total genocide?
Come now, my friends, let us not digress. Anyway, these primitive people have no souls, Louis. We bring the good word to them in order to save them. You'll see, colonization brings with it many benefits, too.
Excuse me, if you don't mind, Your Eminence, I shall continue. Duke Manuel, I believe that Spain should cede Louisiana to France free of charge.
This is utterly grotesque, Lord Mortimer. What a strange example you set for your young protégé. Isn't that so, Monsieur de Richet? Do you understand anything of this proposition?
Schutz von den Engländern, Schutz von den Amerikanern. Ja, ich finde an sich den Vorschlag auch dusselig. Also, weiß nicht, ich kann ihn da schon verstehen. Aber wir wissen ja, was er vorhat. Also, ich weiß jetzt aber nicht, was er hier sagen wird. Das würde ich gerne halt ein bisschen detaillierter haben. Was denn? Boah, Schutz vor den Engländern. Ja, komm.
We are neighbors, Duke Manuel. Remember, your main rival in Europe is more likely to be England, who is plowing the seas right up your coastline. Hand over Louisiana to France and make her a prime ally.
Come, Louis. Spain and Great Britain are already allies and have nothing to gain by breaking their alliance.
Even if I do agree, Duchess, the omnipresence of the English fleet in Atlantic waters does not particularly please me.
I must say, William, I find your project mostly disfavors me. I thought you were my friend.
And I am, Mr. President. That is why I'm doing everything in my power to calm your expansionist fervor. France, in Louisiana, should persuade you not to attempt anything to take the territory by force. Louisiana is a vast wetland where you would needlessly lose most of your troops. It would weaken you and offer certain nations the perfect opportunity to take back your famous United States. I am protecting you from yourself, George. Trust me.
I understand. But with friends like you, sir, I certainly don't need any more enemies. I hope you know what you're doing.
Am I imagining things, or does it look like Washington isn't aware of Mortimer's plan?
Not to put too fine a point on it, Lord Mortimer, but I doubt the Holy See would be in favor of Catholic Louisiana being handed over to secular revolutionaries and king killers.
I should think Monsieur de Richet has an opinion on this subject, does he not?
Ich denke, gut. Man merkt schon, ich tue mir ein bisschen schwer damit, da wirklich hintereinander zu folgen. Ne? Ich denke doch, dass auch Monsieur de Richet eine Meinung in dieser Sache hat, oder etwa nicht. Frankreich kann die... Ja, ich kann ja BS eh nicht auswählen, aber wahrscheinlich, weil es... Wird die Christen beschützen... Sollte eigentlich für Unruhe stiften, oder? Warte mal, ich versuch's
In any
mal.
case, my lord, I doubt the English crown will agree.
Ich versichere Ihnen, Emily, nie Preußen wird diese Vereinbarung akzeptieren.
Wahrscheinlich die Preußen, nicht nie Preußen, ne?
I assure you, Emily, the Prussian will never accept this agreement. Volner looks like he's set on ruining Mortimer's plan.
Duchess, I am persuaded that we shall find a common ground.
That's enough, William. These are great times. We don't care about the fate of Louisiana.
That worthless expanse of putrid swamps interests no one but yourself.
Speak for yourself, my friend.
Hold on there, Mr. Royal Gigolo. Lower the volume, and let Sir Gregory finish.
Home, Godoy, and now Volner? Mortimer's adversaries are ready to tear each other to pieces, and he takes a malicious pleasure in watching it happen.
How dare you!
Gentlemen, let us try to remain calm.
There you are, William. See where your projects have taken us, as per usual. Chaos! That's enough. I'm tired. We shall continue this discussion tomorrow, but please be aware that your project will never be ratified. Those who are opposed to this project, follow me. Are you coming with us, Monsieur de Richet?
Come, Gregory, I think Louis would rather stay. Wouldn't you, Louis?
Toll. Das Ding ist, die gehen ja eh schon mit, ne? Also die sind ja sowieso dagegen. Wir sollten auch dagegen sein, weil wir sollen ja Mortimer nicht trauen. Aber damit unterstützen wir ihn ja. Ich dachte, wir können das dann irgendwie vereiteln. Ach komm. Ich versuche mal wirklich gut der Geschichte zu folgen und nicht den Fehler zu machen, den ich sonst mal mache.
At the risk of displeasing you, my lord, I'd rather follow Sir Gregory. I don't think this is a place for the order.
Louis? No. Let him go, Mr. President. Everyone is free to choose.
Ja. Ja. Ich weiß nicht, ich bin... Bei so einem Punkt bin ich halt immer sehr unentschlossen, ob das wirklich vernünftig war, meine Wahl oder nicht.
How can he be so blind? If he keeps this up, he'll lead our countries to their destruction.
Don't worry, we shall counter him, Sir Gregory.
We have to act immediately.
Calm down, Gregory. We only have to vote against his project, and that's it.
They haven't got a chance. Just one vote will suffice.
True. There is no chance of a unanimous vote. And he knows it. He must be preparing something else. What is he plotting?
Das ist, glaube ich, zu früh.
We shall shortly find out, so let's take the lead.
What do you mean by that?
His plan begins with Louisiana, which is still yours, Duke Manuel. He will begin with you. Expect to receive an envoy, French most probably. He will try to convince you by every possible means. Whatever he says, whatever he promises, you have just one response. It's war. If war is what you want, war is what you'll get. On your own territory, in your homes. Enough games. Spain will join the coalition against France and declare war. You too, Duchess Hillsborough. You will speak to the Queen so that Great Britain commits to going to war with France.
What do you expect from the Papal States, Sir Gregory?
What do you think? That they hold a mass? They will go to war, of course. What is it that you didn't understand in what I just told you? We all declare war on France. Militarily, politically, and financially.
And me, Sir Gregory? How can I help?
Louis, you have won my trust. The order will have to act in France. But even before that, I'm going to need you. Right here and right now. Leave me now. I have to prepare for tomorrow. Let's meet early tomorrow morning for the next phase of the conference, which promises to be most exciting. Louis, I'd like to see you a moment, please. Thank you for signing for me today. I won't forget it. I'm going to need you. Help me counter Mortimer on his own ground. Right here. I'm sure he'll try and win some of you over. He needs our votes. Now, you leave that to me. In the meantime, I must ask you to go and see President Washington and persuade him to trust me and join us.
I'll do my best.
You should go right away. There's no time to lose. William already has a head start on us.
Very well. I'll go right away.
Also gefühlsmäßig war es die richtige Entscheidung. Aber auch nur gefühlsmäßig. Dadurch, dass ja Politik und sowas eigentlich überhaupt nicht so großartig meins ist, sage ich mal so, oder Geschichte halt auch nicht so, ist das halt ein bisschen schwierig für mich, das, naja, zu verstehen nicht unbedingt, aber wenn das Interesse halt nicht so krass da ist, vielleicht wisst ihr, was ich meine, ne? Also ich glaube, es ist leichter, komplexen Sachen zu folgen, für die man sich extrem, oder nicht unbedingt extrem, aber für die man sich sehr interessiert, als bei anderen nicht. Vielleicht wundert sich da der eine oder andere, warum ich denn das Spiel dann gekauft habe, aber für mich sah es dann eher nach Entscheidungsmöglichkeiten aus. Ne? Wie es bei Detroit und so ist, dass man der Geschichte wesentlich einfacher folgen kann. Dass das dann so komplex und so wird, damit habe ich ja eh nicht gerechnet. Aber das hatte ich, glaube ich, schon ein paar Mal gesagt gehabt. Ne? Wo bin ich denn hier überhaupt? Ach, ich bin wieder hier im Roten. Was ist denn das? Okay, gut, dann hau ich mir das schon mal rein. Okay, das war voll mit Gold Elixier. Es muss aber doch noch irgendwas sein. Kann ich wieder versuchen, George... Ah, toll. Ich muss noch George überzeugen. Ich dachte, ich kann wenigstens mal ins Bett gehen und mal ein bisschen so mal schlafen. Ne? Ich meine, es ist doch schon spät abends. Dass ich mich wenigstens noch ein bisschen, naja, aufwerten kann in Sachen Fragen. Man muss es halt nicht immer nutzen, das haben wir ja auch gesehen. Oder manchmal ist es fatal, wenn ich dann das Falsche nutze, also habe ich dann doppelten Schaden mehr oder weniger angerichtet. Also einmal die Konversation verkackt, oder zum Teil verkackt, und meine Vierecke sind am Arsch. Okay, aber bei George, das Ding ist, wenn ich das jetzt richtig verstanden habe, glaubt da George eigentlich auch nicht wirklich selber dran, oder er hat ja gesagt, das ist ja alles zu seinen Missgunsten und dass er selber Kacke findet. Ich kann sogar hoch. So, ich dachte, der wäre noch im großen Saal irgendwo. Okay, dann muss ich auf jeden Fall auf sein Zimmer. Ja, dass er das halt selber irgendwo ein bisschen Kacke findet, dass er da benachteiligt wird eigentlich. Er vertraut ihm aber trotzdem so weit, wahrscheinlich aufgrund der Vergangenheit, dass ich kann es mir schwierig vorstellen, dass wir das dann überhaupt hinkriegen, wenn wenn George eigentlich eh schon nicht so ein Freund davon ist, aber trotzdem unserem guten Lord, naja, ich will nicht sagen hörig ist, aber ihm halt vertraut. Oder immer noch vertraut, obwohl er dagegen ist. Wie sollen wir ihn dann großartig umstimmen können? Das Ding ist, man sieht das schon, ich hoffe ja, dass der in seinem Zimmer ist, nicht, dass der noch unten beim Dinner irgendwo ist. Aber ich habe halt leider vergessen, wo seine Bude war. Kann ich da eigentlich rein? Wenn ich wollte. Könnte ich. Pass auf, nachher wartet George bei mir. Das war ja, glaube ich, der Priester, ne?
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Biaggi.
Biaggi. Okay, hier kann ich nicht rein. Wo ist denn Georges Bude eigentlich hier? Muss doch auch ein Schildchen vorstehen.
President George Washington.
Jo, wir können sogar rein. Wird ein schwieriges Gespräch. Oder der ist gar nicht da, dann werde ich auf jeden Fall die Gelegenheit nutzen, seine Bude zu durchsuchen. Auch wenn das vielleicht ein bisschen scheiße von mir ist dann, aber vielleicht finden wir irgendein Druckmittel oder irgendwas, wenn er nicht da sein sollte. Wir gucken erstmal. Er ist halt Tatsache 0 da. Das ist gar nicht mal so schlecht. Oder er ist im Nebenzimmer irgendwie, das kann ja auch sein. Da ist das Bett. Das Ding ist bloß, wenn er mich hier drin erwischt. Ne? Goldelixir ist voll. Kann bei George vielleicht GD rumliegen?
Locked.
Das kann aufbrechen. Okay, da steht Kleinschlüssel verwendet. Vielleicht finde ich hier noch irgendwo einen kleinen Schlüssel, bevor ich das wieder mache. Ich hoffe halt wirklich, dass er nicht hier reingestolpert kommt. Das wäre ein bisschen sehr ungeil. Wahrscheinlich wird... Also normalerweise müsste er den Schlüssel ja am Mann haben, ne?
My dear George, I'd like to invite you to join me as planned at my place. I have a project to show you. It is time that the United States played a more important role on the world stage. I understand your reluctance of playing with fire. I know your new country is very young, but rest assured that I...
Okay, ich weiß jetzt nicht, warum da jetzt auf einmal Gequatsch dabei war, weil wir das sonst... ich glaube, einmal hatten wir das, aber sonst nie war. War aber halt bloß die Einladung. Was haben wir da? Ein kleiner Schlüssel. Warte mal, das Ding ist, ich habe schon genug Spiele gespielt, damit ich weiß, okay, der könnte jeden Moment hier reingeplatzt kommen, wenn wir jetzt eh schon hier drin sind, deswegen will ich das gleich mal probieren. Ja, das wissen wir. Nimm noch den kleinen Schlüssel, den du gerade gefunden hast.
The President's personal reserve of laudanum, and judging by the quantity, he can't go without it. Ah, there's also a letter.
Sehr geehrter Mr. President, ich antworte Ihnen so schnell, wie mir möglich ist. Wir haben uns schon vor Ihrer Abreise darüber unterhalten, aber offensichtlich ist keine Besserung festzustellen. Ich bitte Sie dringlichst, meinen Rat zu folgen und sofort die Einnahme von Laudanum einzustellen. Ich bin bereits auf der Suche nach einem Ersatzmittel, aber ich fürchte, Sie werden nicht warten. Mit Ihrem übermäßigen Konsum setzen Sie sowohl Ihre Gesundheit als auch Ihre Chancen, wiedergewählt zu werden, aufs Spiel. Ihre Sucht stellt eine Gefahr für die Ausübung Ihres Amtes dar, mein Freund. Ich fürchte, es gibt keine andere Lösung. Sie müssen mit der täglichen Einnahme aufhören. Oh Gott. Ich weiß nicht, ob das ein Leibarzt ist, aber kannst du das nicht wenigstens wieder zumachen? Du Dussel. Obwohl... Der Vogel ist ja auch gestorben. Ich weiß nicht, ob das später noch wichtig wird, weil Lord Mortimer war... Ja, ich weiß nicht, ob er in seinen eigenen Gefilden war. Aufgefallen müsste es ihm eigentlich sein. Aber... noch keine Konsequenzen. Okay, er hat nicht wirklich viel drin. Okay, das ist ein Chain. Okay, wenn das nur Honig ist. Mehr haben wir hier aber wirklich nicht. Und wisst ihr, was passiert wird? Ich will rausgehen und er will gerade reinkommen. Warte mal. Ne, erreichen kann ich das sowieso nicht, aber...
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Ja, lol, für dieses fucking... Ach, naja, scheiße.
Louis? What are you doing in my room?
Es war so klar, So tun, als ob du einen Einbrecher vermutet hättest. Gespräch unter vier Augen.
I wanted to have a word with you, but just between ourselves. Here, the walls have ears.
You're right. Caution is the mother of safety. Well, since you're here, can I get you something to drink?
No, thank you, Mr. President.
As you wish. Well, Louis, it's getting late, and this is not my first conference, so let's get straight to the point. You are here to motivate me to change sides.
I have decided not to follow Mortimer.
I noticed. Every man must make his own choice. What can we say? That's the political game. And you did not commit to supporting Mortimer, so there's nothing for you to feel bad about. So, what can I do for you?
Er ist uns Stück geworden, über Mortimers Plan reden.
President Washington, I regret that my situation is contrary to yours, especially as I really do respect you.
Me too, Louis. Let us not mix business and emotion.
Understood. I've just come from a meeting with Sir Gregory and his supporters. They are all rallying against Mortimer's project.
That is to be expected.
Great Britain, the Kingdom of Spain and Sicily, the Kingdom of Prussia, the Holy Empire, the Kingdom of Portugal, of Bohemia, and of Hungary.
I know, Louis. I know. The coalition against France also gives me cause for concern. I'm certainly not saying that, on paper, Mortimer's plan seems very viable. Anyway, you haven't really said what you wanted to say. Tell me, Louis, what have you come here to sell me?
You should join home.
And why would I do that?
Toll. Aus der Pflicht gegenüber Mutter. Weiß nicht, ob das zieht. Hier ist es nämlich. Aber er hat es schon auf seinen Leibarzt nicht gehört. Warum sollte er auf uns hören? Sein Vertrauen sollte für die Zukunft, glaube ich, besser sein.
This type of meeting might be familiar to you, but for me, I must admit, Mr. President, it's all a bit over my head.
It's only natural, Louis. But you are managing rather well for a first-timer. You've chosen the wrong allies, that's all.
I hope my mother doesn't hold it against me if I made a mistake. Anyway, if Lord Mortimer does succeed, it would be no mean feat. Did he tell you what he would gain from it?
What do you mean?
Well, Mortimer's plan has been meticulously prepared for many years, I imagine.
Of that you can be sure.
It's only natural, and his plan leaves nothing to chance.
No, that's what...
He never commits his own fortune, let alone his reputation, since you're the one who takes center stage here.
In fact...
Whether he wins or loses, everything is arranged so that he comes out of it intact.
Yes,
You've got to hand it to him, though. He's a master at putting together a plan which puts himself at no risk.
That's true. Don't worry, you can trust him.
Of course. I'll bet he's invested in a river transport company on the Mississippi or somewhere like that.
It's true I had never thought about what he might have to gain. Tell me what Sir Gregory has to offer that I don't already have with Lord Mortimer.
Okay, erzählen Sie mir, was Sir Gregory anzubieten hat, das Lord Mortimer nicht anbieten kann. Er behält, was er bereits hat. Er könnte neue Kolonien erhalten, Reichtum, ihm auch Louisiana versprechen. Frieden. Im Interesse des amerikanischen Volks.
You are a man of conviction, Mr. President. You would never make a choice that could cost the American people very dearly. If Mortimer falls, he will bring the United States down with him. Haven't the American people suffered enough?
I would never do anything that would put my people in danger.
Exactly. Therefore, choose your allies wisely, sir.
I must admit, your arguments do make sense, Louis. Louis, you convinced me. I congratulate you for your performance, because I didn't think it could happen.
I merely exposed the facts to you.
Don't spoil everything with your false modesty now. You really were very good, and that's that. In any case, I shall follow you on this one. This may well arouse Lord Mortimer's wrath, but I must put the United States before anything else. Have we finished, Louis?
Absolutely, Mr. President. I shan't keep you any longer. Allow me to take my leave.
Good night, Louis. Get some rest. Tomorrow will be a very big day.
Well, that's one thing out of the way. The only thing left to do is wait for the conference to resume tomorrow morning.
Yay! Schön. Schön. Warte mal, wo bin ich denn hier überhaupt? Meine Bude ist da unten. Na dann, ich habe zwar alles verbraucht, was ich hatte, aber hat Gott sei Dank sehr gut funktioniert. Wir haben ihn auf unserer Seite. Und ich schätze mal, es ist bloß noch schlafen gehen, Perks auswählen und dann... ist das nicht meine Bude? Nein, das ist nicht meine Bude. Und dann... Ja, denke ich mal, wenn wir dann morgen weitermachen mit der Konferenz. Und ich hoffe, dass ich wenigstens ein bisschen wieder was wiederkriege. Oder dass irgendwo noch mehr Gelee rumliegt. Das wäre ganz schön.
Good evening, Monsieur le Français.
Duchess, you're here. What a charming surprise. I'm beginning to think you can't be without me.
You have managed to penetrate my armor, sir. Am I disturbing you, perhaps?
Okay, das kommt unverhofft, aber... Ich meine, wenn es schon mal da ist.
That's not what I said.
Ah, by the way, congratulations on choosing Sir Gregory this evening. You surprised me. I wasn't expecting it.
Why, Emily, can't you read me like an open book?
Not as well as you read me, it would seem.
I'll teach you if you'd like.
There's nothing I'd like more.
Tell me, are these visits to Mortimer's always so intense?
Yes and no. My sister doesn't normally disappear like she has. Any news of your mother?
I've seen her, Emily.
What? When was that?
A little earlier, just before the conference. She was hiding.
And did you manage to speak to her?
She's not the same. I don't know what's been happening to her, but she's changed. I found her in a deplorable state with one of her hands cut off. I mean, she was saying crazy things, bordering on delirium.
What? Did you say one of her hands was cut off? What happened to her?
I don't know. She wouldn't say.
And did she tell you why she shot Emma?
No. Unfortunately, we were unable to broach the subject. She seemed terribly upset, Emily. There's something strange going on here. She was fearful of something or someone.
Excuse me, Louis, but until we see proof of the contrary, she's the one who is sowing death everywhere she goes. We are the ones who ought to be fearful.
I know.
No, I apologize for that remark. Who do you think she's hiding from? Mortimer?
I don't know. Maybe.
Louis, I don't want to pile it on, but I would understand her feelings there. You ought to be wary of Mortimer. He's a manipulator, a liar, a coward who doesn't assume his responsibilities at all.
What exactly happened between you two, Emily? You're so radically against him.
Can we change subject, please? I didn't come here to go through all that again.
Of course, it's late. You're right.
Come, Louis.
My friends, do not worry. I assure you that Lord Mortimer's plan will never see the light of day. I shall deal with informing our allies, but for the time being, I need you to make a stand.
What do you think about Monsieur de Richet?
I don't know yet. I feel there's great potential in him.
He looks like he can be trusted.
Why isn't he with us? He was opposed to Mortimer.
I'll wait and see. I'm still not sure of his position.
And Duchess Hillsborough, why isn't she here?
She's busy. Don't worry about her.
Oh, isn't it time to replace her?
Not so fast, sir. She is an important figure. You ought to have a little more faith in her.
What are we going to do about Washington?
He will be a hard nut to crack. On our chessboard, he is Mortimer's king.
Don't worry. Mr. President only wants one thing: to keep his dear America united. He won't jeopardize everything he has achieved on a whim.
He has been serving Mortimer for quite some time. It won't be easy to bring him around. I have asked Monsieur de Richet to approach him. Let us have faith in him. I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
Yet he is Mortimer's strong arm in France.
He knows his time has come, and I believe he is intelligent enough to realize it means he is no longer any use to Mortimer. Do you feel all right, Mr. Godoy? You haven't said a word.
Please excuse me, gentlemen. I feel tired.
Oh, I see. I think it is high time you left us then. Now!